Am I your daddy? Well, not biologically, but as a mentor, as a symbolic father, someone who takes the time to tell you the truth that your identity is not based on something as superficial and natural as hair loss, even if it happens to you. You don't have a father to tell you that. So I become the supplement to remind you about what masculinity and identity is actually about. But right now, when you don't have a skill set, you don't know what you're good or bad at, you don't know how to make people laugh, you don't know how to talk to girls, you don't know how to help other people make them feel better about themselves. Forget about me. Forget about this guy. Nobody cares about this guy until this guy is able to help and serve others. That's where I'm at. You need a mentor like me in your life, which is why you watch my videos. I am a supplement. I'm there to fix that hole in the world that so many men, so many young men, don't have positive, present fathers. With that being said, let's check out this video. I made a video called Predicting You'll Go Bald by Having a Beard Before Age 18. Received a couple comments. Here's another one worth making a response to from Aish Y. I guess that's how I pronounce that screen name. Quote, Nick, please answer me. I'm 26 years old and I have very thick hair like Hollywood stars with a baby face. I don't have a mustache or a beard yet. Recently I started to notice hair loss and now I don't know if I will be bald or if this is the effect of chronic stress that I'll live. I'm more nervous now than before, end quote. So I responded, I will. So, this is one of those things where I think, and I wrote it down over here on a piece of paper. So, I'm in the middle of listening to a book on CD called, I don't know, something like the 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, whatever, something like that. And they were talking about there's stimulus and reaction, but in the middle is choice. So let me say that again. There's the stimulus, the thing that, here's the stimulus, and then on the other side, there's your reaction, how you respond to this thing. But ultimately, in the middle is still your choice. You still get to decide. So when I see this, I could be afraid of it. I could be like, who cares? I'd be like, I could just stare at it. That's weird. I could have all kinds of ways to respond, but ultimately, I have to make a choice how I'm going to respond to this. And so when I get comments like that, here's what I think of. I think that you could believe that your hair loss is caused by your stress, and the reason you have stress is because of your hair loss. You could believe that. I don't believe that. I think for most people watching my channel, it's not because of stress caused by the hair loss. I think it's stress because we don't know who we are as younger men. Keep in mind, I'm very aware. So one of my favorite songs in the world is by REM called What's the Frequency, Kenneth? Michael Stipe wrote that song as a Generation X man to the younger generation, which would have been me. Technically, see, I'm on the cusp of Millennial and Generation X, but he was writing it to the upcoming generation, basically saying, I don't understand you, is really what he was saying. And I don't know what it's like to be part of a generation of younger men who find their identity through a phone, who compare their self-worth based on Instagram and all of that stuff, thinking, oh wow, he has more hair than me. He has a pretty girlfriend. I wish I could have a pretty girlfriend, but I don't have enough hair. Meanwhile, an hour later, then he gets the phone and he's looking at porn. And he's never had a physical relationship with a female, yet he's getting a daily dose of this fantasy that's not real on what that actually is. So then when that becomes his mind, by default, he's going to be more stressed out. By default, he's going to deal with that anxiety. Compared to an older generation where even though I've never consumed pornography, I always ran the other way because I knew it was destructive psychologically. This is not a religious conversation we're having, by the way. This is a psychological conversation. When you hardwire your brain to think about pornography, especially before you've even had any kind of physical relationship with a woman, it's going to cause actually anxiety for a lot of guys. Because what will happen is they look at something so superficial and fake and think, well, I gotta look like the guy in that video. And look, he's got a full head of hair. And oh man, are my temples going back? Oh no, I'm going to be bald. I can never be like that guy in the video. Of course you can't, because you're not a porn star. And if that's what you're going for, then you don't need to be watching my videos. So it's a different culture altogether. This is, and no one's arguing with me about this. No one's debating me. No one's giving a rebuttal when I talk about this regularly. I talk about it regularly that the generation watching my videos, almost all of you, are probably addicted to pornography. Or at least you consume it regularly. So what's the difference? Either way, as a teenage boy, if you're looking at pornography on your tablet, computer, laptop, whatever, it's gonna mess you up. I can't relate to you on that, but I can, as an advantage, I can recognize that problem. And I can recognize that the younger generation has this obsession with youth, with looking younger all the time. Meanwhile, I'm a guy who didn't grow up in social media like that. And here I am close to 40, and you better believe my identity is not something somebody says on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. That whatever it is or whatever it's going to be, it's so pathetic. It's pathetic. It's pathetic that this is what people do. That's lame. That's not cool. And when you spend that much time on that, then that insecurity owns you. That becomes you. So, but Nick, I thought this was a video about hair loss. Aren't you responding to? Yeah, I am responding. I'm speaking the truth. See, a lot of people when they look up hair loss videos, they're looking for this cure for hair loss, which is a joke to me. There's no cure for hair loss because hair loss is not a disease. There is a disease of the mind, anxiety, fearing things that haven't happened yet. But it's only because of lack of substance inside here, knowing who you are. So there's no cure. Is there a cure for, oh man, what color are my eyes? I got brown eyes and my hair's dark brown. Oh man, I wanted to have blonde hair. And I want to have blue eyes. So, man, well, I guess I could like start bleaching my hair blonde and I could get contact. That would be a cure. Then I could look more Norwegian or something. Okay, no, what I just said was ridiculous and totally stupid to prove a point. Trying to cure hair loss, thinking that is going to solve your problems and make your life great? No, it's not. So we're asking the wrong questions is what we're doing. We're asking the wrong questions. And this is typical for what comes through here. So let's go back. Please answer me. I'm 26 years old. I have very thick hair like Hollywood stars, a baby face. I have a mustache. See, what I'm understanding from this comment is this is someone who's saying, I'm of a generation who's obsessed with my appearance because I believe that's what makes people like me. Not what I'm good at, bad at, what my skill sets are, my ability to help people, my ability to make people laugh, my ability to be and appear confident. Because when I hear the comments, I'm like, you're not attractive because you're not confident. You're not confident because you're allowing your identity to be based on something so stupid and artificial like people perceiving you. And we're talking about Hollywood. We're talking about Hollywood's fake too. If anything's fake, porn. But not too far from there is Hollywood. It's all fake. And so many of those actors have had situations up here. I think Chris Pratt, I'm pretty sure, he's about my age, pretty sure he's kind of slowing things down. He's one of many examples of men in Hollywood that's not their real hair. Or at least they're paying enough money to where it's not. So many men have had stuff done. So it's a matter of perspective. It's all about that paradigm shift. It's about a paradigm shift of realizing all that's fake, all that's garbage. Nick Shell speaks truth. He cares about your heart. He cares about you, the person. But I think that's probably what I perceive as the epidemic in the generation after me. There's so much anxiety. There's so much fear. There's suicidal thoughts. And I'm thinking, don't you have everything? And maybe that's the problem. This generation that's now young teenage boys and in their 20s, You're by default born at the top of Maslow's hierarchy of needs pyramid. You have everything, and so does everybody else. So now you fear that you are not enough. I came from a generation of knowing you are not people's perception of you, and you're not your perception of how they perceive you. You are who you are, and people either like you or don't. And you can even alter that. You can calibrate making people like you, which again, be funny. How do you become funny? You become confident. How do you become confident? You figure out, hey, am I good at math or science? Am I good at fixing computers or fixing cars? Am I good at communicating with people, or maybe being behind the scenes and figuring out? Either way, you know what you're good and you're bad at. That's like the first step to knowing who you are. And then being able to laugh about what you're not good at. That's huge, because comedy is very important to the male identity. No one cares if girls are funny. They don't need to be funny. Guys need to be funny. It's true. So if you can't be funny, people aren't going to like you. That's what I'm telling you. So you got to be confident. But I'm not, Nick, because of my hair. Okay, then be funny. Well, I can't, Nick, because I'm losing my hair. Okay, then make fun of your hair. You can do that, right? Yeah, but don't be like, hey, everybody, I'm bald. Huh? Instead it's, if that's something that makes you feel insecure, if it comes up in conversation, own it. If anyone notices it, like, yeah, man, look at me. I'm gonna be like Vin Diesel by the time I'm 25. But this guy's 26. Either way, look at the photo of yourself at age 1. That's you at age 35. Could you grow a beard before the age of 18 that was fully connected? Well, if so, you're more likely to go bald. If you couldn't grow a beard, less likely. None of that matters, though. None of that matters. And I know this. That's why it's so easy for me to take breaks for weeks at a time about talking about this, because I don't actually care about this. The only thing I care is your heart. Helping you reinvent yourself from the inside. That's all that matters. Hollywood, lame. Pornography, psychologically destructive. Phones and social media, one of the only good things to come out of it are my videos to actually help people. Your comments belong right here.